Guachtuq's been working on it is an amazing experience. You're able to apply the engineering skills that you learn in the classroom to a real-life application while keeping in mind how to work with different cultures and different people. In the beginning of our project, we had to go on numerous assessment trips. In the beginning, we weren't sure if we were doing a stove or a water project, but working with the community and determining what their biggest need was we were able to determine that the best project for Guachtuq would be a water catchment project. While determining what the community needed most, being culturally aware was very important, and to do that, we were able to work with our NGO, SESEP, who facilitated this relationship and helped us grow, not just as a group coming in to help with the project, but also as friends with the community.
The relationship that we have had with SESEP has been instrumental in the success of this project. SESEP has helped with an incredible amount of logistics regarding the project. They've helped us with translation, making sure that we're culturally appropriate in the community. They've established the relationships with the community members and helped us maintain those relationships. Without them, this project just wouldn't have been successful. The design of our rainwater harvesting system is pretty simple. The quantity of rain that falls onto the roof falls into the gutters. From the gutters, it's channeled to the first flush. Once the first flush has filled, a water bottle plugs the top of the first flush, allowing the rest of the water to go into the tanks. Community members have 1, 2, or 3 tanks depending on the size of their family and the size of their roof. The calculations were completed to determine whether the quantity of water that fell throughout an average year would be able to sustain the family members through the dry and wet season.
So one of the biggest challenges that we faced while there was how to get across the language barrier. So when in the community, most of them spoke a Mayan dialect called Poqomchi. There was not really a lot of Spanish known in the community. And whereas like SESEP, the members in there spoke mostly Spanish. And coming in, I didn't know Spanish or Poqomchi, so getting past that was kind of difficult.
Through our initial assessments, it was very challenging. We were starting with one NGO who we could no longer work with, and which is why we have partnered with SESEP. However, even with working with a good NGO, we did overcome other difficulties, such as having a difficult time finding the right supplies for our project, or not sure what type of foods we could eat as a travel team since we were not used to the culture. This was definitely had some setbacks, but we were able to overcome them and fulfill our project.
So over the past 7 years, we've actually implemented 34 rainwater harvesting systems in Guachtuq, which has helped impact over the 200 people in the community, while also providing better quality of water and just tremendously increasing the access to water there.
From working with EWB, I think the biggest thing that I've taken away is that engineering isn't just numbers. It's working with people and figuring out the best solution for the place that you're implementing the design.
So one of the biggest things I think I've taken away from this experience was probably to not expect the community to adhere to our lifestyle and our culture. Going in there, we should be expected to basically learn some of the Spanish, work with them on their cultural differences, because this is their homeland and it's not for us or them to adapt to what we have.
One of the main parts of our club is our general body meetings. That's when we come together and we get most of our work done. During these meetings, we have different subcommittees. We'll have a fund subcommittee, writing grants, getting a lot of the fundraising done. We have a PR committee where a lot of the t-shirt designs are made and a lot of those events are planned. We also have technical committees. This is when different parts of the club come together and we'll do a lot of the work on the project. We'll break off, and one person might be working on water quality and someone else will be working on testing, and we'll get a lot of the project work done on that time.
Our chapter does a lot of PR events to raise awareness about what we do, both in the Worcester community and to the WPI campus as a whole. A couple events we do in the community are Start on the Street, which is a local festival for craftsmen, artists, and food vendors. And we set up a table there just to kind of educate the Worcester public about what we do. On campus, we do a lot of events such as Starbucks Without Borders, during which we request a donation of pre-made coffee from Starbucks, and then we pass it out to the student body. This isn't a fundraising event, but it's just to kind of remind the student body that we exist, and we kind of remind the student body about what we do in case anyone wants to join us. It's also just a really good way to get our name out there to be making some connections.
So one of the largest fundraising events that we have is the Sangria Social, which is basically a wine tasting networking night where we have several silent auctions, raffles of auction items that we get from companies around the area and through national organizations. So it's a great event. It helps raise a lot of money for us, and it's been well received by everybody.
Throughout the Guatemala project, we raised about $112,000. This is an amazing accomplishment for our club that we were able to financially sustain this project.
Our chapter does a lot of work off campus to share what we've been doing, but also to learn from other chapters. So we attend the Northeast Regional Conference every year, as well as other smaller conferences that give us the opportunity to network with other Engineers Without Borders chapters and NGOs that are doing similar work.
As we begin our new project in Ecuador, we'll be using all of the lessons learned from our past project in Guatemala to make sure it's a successful project. Working with the community of Guachtuq was one of the most rewarding experiences of my life.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.